Yeah, I consider this like hot.
And that went out to the internet.
It probably did. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hopefully
Welcome back,
we are
everyone.
live.
Today only 2 of E3.
That's a weird phrasing. Are you tired?
Today only 2.
We're all tired.
There's another one tomorrow.
Oh, don't.
Okay, so it's the penultimate day of E3.
It is.
Welcome to our penultimate live stream.
Yeah.
Let us know how
Tomorrow's
we're
going to
looking
be
and sounding.
yeah. Let us know how we sound, how we look. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be the last Q&A type live stream today.
Yes, yeah.
Because tomorrow Luke and Ellen are going to be playing an actual G-damn video game.
Yeah, so drink it in.
Live.
Drink
so,
in
yeah, the splendour
hotel
of
room.
Of
this
Mike's hotel room.
Yeah, well, I
Finally, I can fling
Mr.
my
Coke.
pants all over the place after tonight.
Have we
because-
previously revealed this was your hotel room?
No, this
Well,
is
now
my
you
hotel
know.
room.
Revelations.
This is
Yeah.
where I sleep over there. I do my bathroom business over there.
Wow, it's all
Yeah.
letting it all hang out now that E3 is nearly over.
And let me
Exactly.
tell you, it's room number 718.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And
Yes, we've had a wonderful day though, right?
been a
I've
good
had a
one.
really
yeah,
good
you
day.
say it's the penultimate day, but really I feel like it was the ultimate
day.
day at E3
Yes.
because we saw Cyberpunk,
Yes.
we saw Control,
Yes.
and you guys saw
Vampire
The Masquerade Bloodlines.
Two. Yeah. Quite the trio.
Also, I saw Journey to the Savage Planet as well, which is
Oh yeah.
I
Don't forget about that,
enjoyed.
Andy. How could you?
How could you?
Certainly a game.
Yeah, let us know how you're getting on, and if there's anything you'd like to know about those games.
Yeah. We
or
saw
in
a-
general, anything about
Yeah.
E3.
Life tips.
We played about 40 minutes of Control. We saw a 50-minute Cyberpunk demo. And how long were you guys playing Vampire for?
About it was like half an hour
Yeah.
ish. So
We were sort of steering someone else who
Yes.
was playing.
someone
Oh,
who
they
was good
were-
at the
they
combat.
They didn't
Yeah.
trust you.
No, well, they
trusted us
they
more
don't
than they
trust
probably should have
anyone
done.
right now, but they did let us make all the important decisions, which
Which was a
were
terrible
So
mistake.
how did
to
you
be
play?
a
Were
terrible
you a nice,
asshole or
a nice
not.
helpful vampire?
No, we
or
were a
was you
terrible asshole.
Right.
There were no seduction options in this particular demo, which meant Mike's natural
Probably
play
weren't
style
We're
was
trying hard enough.
somewhat hampered.
Yes. I think they're saving the seduction thing for like a separate reveal. Probably they're like
Ooh.
finally they'll be like
They'll be-
here are all the
The
first
seduction demo. Yeah, because they know if they put it in the 3 demo, that's all
Yeah.
anyone would talk
Exactly.
or write or think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
So
I think that's
probably
fair.
smart. But we saw a lot more Keanu Reeves, meanwhile, speaking
Oh, yeah.
of seduction, in Cyberpunk 2077.
I know I was seduced.
So it was an extended sort of presentation
Yeah.
of a mission in which we learned about the actual nature of the Keanu Reeves character in the game, and also
A bit
went
about
on
the
a bit
nature
of a
of the
mission.
player character.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that then?
Yeah, let's start with Cyberpunk. I think it was the first one in this live stream
Yeah.
title.
Okay, first
so
of all, summarise your thoughts in just 2 sentences.
Keanu Reeves is good,
Mm-hmm.
and I like him.
And those two
There's a
sentences.
full stop
there's
at the
a full
end of
stop,
good,
and then a
Right.
capitalised
capital A.
and
Yeah.
for
Okay,
emphasis.
Mike,
Um,
care to weigh in with your 2 sentences?
it still looks great. I think
Still looks
is
great,
one,
yes.
and also
Keanu
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves, is good. But all one word.
Right.
How about you?
It was blooming spectacular, and also Keanu Reeves
He's good.
was in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is good, and that's one just long sentence.
Let's talk a bit about Keanu Reeves' role because I don't think
Okay.
we've discussed this on stream.
He
No.
plays Johnny Silverhand,
Yes.
who is a Winter Soldier type.
Winter Soldier
cyborg.
looking.
Yeah.
I mean, he is actually a digital ghost who lives in your head. He's like a
Yeah.
Tyler Durden type.
Yeah.
Which suggests
You know,
he is not romanceable. I'm terribly sorry to disappoint everyone.
It depends how hard you're trying.
You
To
know,
quote Andy,
Yeah.
it depends if you're trying hard enough.
you know in The Simpsons where they make that joke about running out of ideas, and they're gonna have a little alien character that only Homer can see and hear.
Yeah.
That's what Keanu Reeves is. He's like a digital ghost that only you can see and hear.
Yeah.
And he
Because
just
he's
sort of-
housed in like a chip
yeah.
that you have, and it's
Embedded in
it's
your neck.
the sort of virtual representation, the digital ghost of an actual character in that game world. And so I think what's interesting is it'll be the sort of sci-fi speculation. Is this a program? Is it a simulation? Or is it actually the consciousness of a formerly living person somehow housed in an inorganic sort of piece of
Right.
hardware?
Because one of the characters that's mentioned quite a lot in the demo that we saw was Alt Cunningham, and in the
first person to digitally upload their consciousness.
Exactly.
50 years ago. So she's been living inside the net basically for 50 years, and she's the former girlfriend of Johnny Silverhand. So they've clearly there's a connection between those two guys, and I'm sure you'll uncover more of that as the story goes on. But the other quite interesting thing was we saw a new district of Night City, which was Pacifica, right? Which is a bit more sort of. It's kind of like it was originally designed to be like a really luxury kind of resort and by the beach.
Seafront property,
and then the economy crashed and all the investors pulled out and it just became this sort of derelict.
Yeah.
And we had a favourite moment, didn't we, of the demo, which was that as you sort of walked into Pacifica, there was like an Apache gunship just absolutely strafing like a
floor
balcony
of this skyscraper.
It was bizarre.
But completely unrelated to what you're up to.
The camera just sort of panned across. You could see it in the corner, just like wrecking someone.
You're having this conversation with the character distractingly up in the corner. There's this helicopter just going. So that was pretty interesting.
Just having its own adventure.
But it had a very different vibe, I thought, from the stuff we've seen previously, which was all kind of Blade Runner-y and like neon and everything stacked up on top of each other. It was a much more open environment, much more like recognisable, run-down sort of area of a city, but just with big sort of tower blocks and things like that. The sort of sci-fi was quite light touch in the demo until right at the end.
Until right at the end, yeah. It's a much more down-to-earth region, and I think it was a smart choice because we've all seen and had a lot of Blade Runner of late, and I think you need to show something different than kind of that warmed over neon, which it does extremely well, but it's almost a cliche.
Yeah.
Almost, I mean, and again, it did it spectacularly well, but I think you need to advance that, show that you've got more than just like the most beautiful Blade Runner simulator.
The way they were playing the demo, they were sort of switching back and forth between two different character builds. There was there was a...
And he's expecting an important call.
No, I'm keeping an eye on the regular chat.
Okay, sorry, I will do that as well.
So I've lost my train of thought now.
The way they were playing the demo was switching between the back and forth, like timing-wise, right?
Yeah, so they had someone who was set up as a kind of strength build with like a lot of guns, and then they had someone who was much more of a net runner, like a hacker build. So it really reminded me of Deus Ex in the way that it was like they've spec'd out one character for combat and they've spec'd out another character for hacking. But it was like the strength and combat character basically blew through the whole bit in about 10 seconds.
Like wrenched open a couple of doors and
that was it.
In the location that it had taken the net runner about 10 minutes.
Yeah, this nerd was like hacking his way through all this stuff. There was some extremely cool hacks that they did because everything is like linked to computers in this world. So there was a bit where one of the bad guys was training boxing with a robot, and they hacked the robot to just like punch.
It was like a rock'em sock'em robot, and it really rocked and socked that guy's head and clean off.
There's another guy like bench pressing with like these weights that were you could alter the weights digitally, and he just like jack the weight up to maximum and just crush this guy.
I think there's a moral there, which
it's a bad idea.
It's an unnecessary automation.
This is where the internet of, what do they call it? The internet of objects? Internet of things.
Yeah.
That's where the internet of things is going to get us. Like, I have a remotely controlled central heating in my home.
Just cook you.
Yeah, if a netrunner wanted to just like cook
nest.
me alive, they could just get in there and turn my heating all the way up. At the very least, they could break my boiler, and who needs that? That's the nightmare we're sleepwalking into, people.
It always does it before Christmas as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nightmare. Should we have a look at some comments?
Yeah, for sure.
Angel Beat says, thanks for your hard work with E3, Bloodlines 2 and Control for the win. Non Blur is a new member. Tyler Letourneau donates, thank you very much. Carl Obsidian says, forget all this video game nonsense. Tell us about the tasty things you've eaten on this trip. Well,
did you see Instagram where Mike was eating a maple bacon donut? That was a tasty thing.
It was a very
tasty thing. Did you have? Were you just like off your head on sugar all afternoon?
Pretty much, yeah. It was buzzing, absolutely hovering about 3 inches above the ground. Yeah. It's the power of maple bacon. Maple bacon donut was really good. We had some really good chicken from a food truck.
Yeah, had some tots. Got to get those tots in.
Keep trying to go to this acai bowl place, but there's just never any time in the morning. And so my quest for an acai bowl continues.
JWI Soulsby is asking if we got to see the skills tree in Cyberpunk. We didn't really.
We did see
a bit of it, but it was big and difficult to pass.
I think what was interesting about it is that the so it's arranged around a circle. They don't have a class system. It's sort of like more of a playstyle thing, and you're not committed to a particular like strongman route or netrunner or whatever the name of the classes are in Cyberpunk, the tabletop game. But different trees, different branches were named different things. So then one of them was like body, one of them was cool. But what I thought was unexpected was that if you look down the cool branch, it said things like sniper rifles.
Sniper rifles are cool.
They are quite cool.
But then down the down the body route.
Yeah.
But I think there were things you would expect to find there, like physical strength maybe. But there was also a different weapon, and maybe it was shotgun or something like that. So it wasn't entirely the skill tree that I would have expected. But I think that sort of links up with their approach where we're not going to lock you into a particular kind of tropey class. If you want to do hacking, then you'll put some points into kind of hacking related things. But you're not then just going to be boxed into a net runner. But yeah, I thought the tree was really interesting. It wasn't a tree, it was like arranged around a circle. Which I think is a visual way of signalling that
it's more open.
Yeah, you're not
like
going
rigid,
down a path and then being stuck on that path. I
like the idea that you're not cool enough to use a sniper rifle. You're like trying to aim it and you just fumble.
But we knew about that cool stat from last year. We were speculating, does it mean like your credibility or reputation? But I don't think it does actually. Although credibility, street cred is a thing as well, and that is like its own kind of experience.
Well, it was nice seeing the character creator, and you could obviously pick different attributes and stuff. You had like strength and intelligence. And the cool thing was interesting, but it's gonna be really interesting to see how that stat affects the world around you. You must have, because one thing you can do is you pick an archetype at the start as well. So there's the nomads who are the
like
kind of
it's
like your origin story.
Exactly. So there's like the kind of Mad Max style people, and then
from the junkyards and scavengers,
corporate people who left behind like a career in the city, and like street kids who are like streetwise and they know all the different gangs and stuff. But it unlocks different dialogue options throughout the game, depending on which like archetype you belong to. So a lot of dialogue options actually. It really struck me that every conversation we were having had like 5 or 6 different responses. Yeah,
which is great. I mean, it must be a nightmare to write it all. But,
well, that's one of those things where the proof is in the pudding. Because when someone else is playing the game for you and you go through it once, you don't know how differently each dialogue option will actually impact the response.
Some of it will be flavour.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. And some of it is about the and I don't mean to do down the effective illusion of choice. Like, we know games can't have infinite branching story paths. It just, if it's written well and if it's done well, then it gives you the impression that what you've said and what you've chosen.
You're sort of role playing, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's it's fascinating.
Keanu Reeves, meanwhile, pops up like in your sort of peripheral vision while you're chatting
to hanging out, smoking a virtual cigar,
an enforcer or something, and he's saying
sort of
salty things.
He's like
about what you're doing,
like a sort of Shakespearean narrator character who just sort of hangs around, like he's like Puck or something. He just sort of hangs around on the side of the stage, like commenting on what's going on.
Well, there's a bit where you're looking in a mirror and like customizing your outfit, and then you come out of that menu and he's like, no one gives a rat's dick about what you look like, alright? Get on with the game.
He did say
Keanu Reeves did say that. So.
Oh god.
Thing that Keanu Reeves has said now.
I'm glad I've never seen one, so I'm not visualising it. But the other one I liked was the one where at one point you were like, you asked him like, should I do this? It feels like it might be a trap. He's like, whatever, just do it.
I don't know, just do it. Jesus.
You should be more invested in my safety, Jimmy Silverhand, because you live in my neck. So, watch out.
Josh Pierini says, hey guys, super interested in Vampire Bloodlines 2. Are you more excited after the reveal or less excited?
Oh god.
Hopefully you're getting some rest between everything. A video at 12 a.m. and have a great rest of your trip. Yeah, we've been putting videos up. We've been sort of trying to space videos out as time's gone on, so hopefully they've appeared at a time that is convenient for you as well. I think we're more excited about,
definitely more,
or as excited about Vampire Bloodlines 2.
I was pleasantly frustrated by the series of clan reveals because they were like little animatics, and I was like, give me the gameplay. And we just had a really extended gameplay demo, and we've got footage actually, so keep an eye on the channel. We'll have that gameplay to show you very soon. But we literally did that about an hour ago, so we haven't been able to publish anything yet. But more excited. It's in very, very, very safe hands. The people we were talking to were, they know their onions for sure. Absolutely. They know their Vampire Bloodlines onions.
Yeah, it was great. We had a bit of a chat with one of the writers, Cara Allison, who we've known since
former games journalist.
Yeah, former games journalist. It's great just talking to someone who works on a game that you really care about, and they're just making all the right noises about how it fits together and what the direction they're taking and all the things they're sort of thinking about. So that was really great. And it felt it felt comfortingly familiar. Even just some of the voice acting and the delivery just felt like
the tone is bang on. Obviously, it looks really good. But in terms of like tone and that kind of like slight kind of skewed humour. It's got that. We went into a nightclub. You got to have a nightclub, and we saw a dance floor, and almost before they could be like, and there's Bloodline fans, you recognise this, and we're like, dance floor, go dance now. And of course, the dance floor
is in there.
The dance is the iconic.
That was the one clip that Jaina showed me.
The only thing I've shown Andy, because Andy wasn't in there, was the iconic.
I was like, she's going to show me like the best part of the demo.
It was
right?
the best part of the demo.
And
the demo was great, but that was the best part. And apparently the animator studied the original dance.
And mocapped it.
Themselves.
This is an artist's impression of
it.
It
is a bit like
I think at one point in a previous show of the week, one of you learned how to do the dance and then did it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, there's a lot of like side arm waving.
It's very flaily.
Yeah, random bits. We had a bit of a chat with them after the demo and stuff. So stuff like it's first person as a game, but like when you do the dance, you'll see your character, and there is now character customization, which there wasn't in the first game, so you'll be able to dress your vampire up as you see fit.
The character customization in the first was like, do you want to be a girl or a boy?
Yeah, exactly.
And your appearance was fixed based on your clan. So the male Toreador was like, he was like a red-haired man in a red silk shirt, which is a very distinctive look. I'm here for it. But the demo was cool.
Really, really excited about it, and yeah, I was nervous going in. I was nervous going in that it would look and feel kind of clunky, particularly after you've just seen Cyberpunk, which has just so much resource thrown at it.
So polished.
Yeah, exactly. But it really stands up, and then just nervous about doing justice to one of my favourite games of all time. And
I thought what was interesting is it's called Bloodlines, so it's very much. To me, Bloodlines means clans because each clan is descended from a progenitor. What do they call it?
Like an antediluvian.
Sort of early head vampire. But in Bloodlines 2, you're not initially affiliated with any clan. You're sort of doing jobs for different factions, but it's not until a bit later in the game that you
affiliate yourself.
Affiliate with a clan, which I think is really interesting.
It should give you a bit more time to
think about
get used to it and think
what
about
you
it.
Are,
What character were you playing as in the demo?
A thin blood.
We were a thin blood, so they're sort of
fledgling.
Fledgling vampire.
So just turned.
You're a scrub vampire who may or may not survive like a whole year because you're very weak when you're young.
But you have like we were asked to choose a thin blood power, so you do have some vampiric powers as a thin blood, but none of the really like clan specific interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I say you're weak, you're obviously still much stronger than a human who you were wrecking up all the time. Yeah.
But I think maybe for the purposes of the demo as well, they let us choose a clan specific power just so we could see some of that stuff. So we had some like Tremere like blood magic stuff going on, which is like creating blood spikes to come out of the ground and skewer people, or like cause them to throw up blood, or like
just blood everywhere.
Basically explode them.
Sounds like, how's the blood physics?
Yeah, it's sloppy looking. Okay. Yeah, it looks wet and gross, and it's really nicely detailed. The characters look great. There's some Nosferatu in there who look really, really cool. I'm very, very excited. Excited to play more, and excited to cut together some videos from the footage we got, because we, like I said, we played it as complete jerks, and I think you're going to enjoy seeing exactly how
the 7 jerkiest things we did.
Exactly. Why not? Cool. So. Cull Obsidian says, Cyberpunk looks like the ultimate game for me, but FPS games give me motion sickness. Do any of you get it? If so, how much blur/bobbing is that? I don't get any motion sickness.
I don't. I have heard of people getting it with the kind of the camera sway.
Yeah, sometimes it helps if people have the ability to change the field of view.
Field of vision, yeah.
And I think that, I'd hope that's an option in certainly the PC version, but quite often console games have it now as well, because I think they know that affects people. So maybe tinkering with that. Also, I don't know if it's more pronounced if you're in a lot of action, but what I can say about Cyberpunk is they did say to us, you can go through it without killing anyone. So maybe, depending on your playstyle, you might be able to take it at a slower pace, which might mean less running around and maybe less motion sickness, but that's the best I can offer, really.
I think the notion of going through it without killing anyone will mean in a lot of places you'll still have to do the boss fight, but then at the end of the boss fight you'll be given the option to spare someone. So I don't think you'll get through the game without fighting anyone.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, you could adjust your playstyle so you're doing a lot more hacking and a lot more chatting and a lot less running and gunning.
Hopefully there's going to be a lot of sort of flexibility in that, but I guess it's the same with Vampire as well. It's like you'll be able to do a lot of things to avoid conflict and things, but you won't be able to avoid it altogether, right?
No.
So because those AI designers have to get paid.
The stuff of the game is as it ever was combat in a way.
People are saying they can hear munching sounds, which I mean, no one's eating anything.
No, is it me? Is it me moving around on the chair or something? Am I doing something bad? Or?
We're dead. Well, no one is eating anything, so apologies
munching
for munching sounds
That's
if
weird.
you're getting that. But yeah, several people have said that.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
A lot of people saying, I feel snacky now, thanks Luke
Oh,
/
is it like a crunchy sound?
Yeah, like a crunching snack sound. Like
I wonder if
eating
that's
chips.
an audio...
Crunch,
some
crunch,
sort
crunch.
of audio bug thing.
Possibly.
Sorry about that. I don't... Yeah, it's difficult for me to
I've got a drink down here. Maybe my drink is making sounds. I'm gonna drop it down.
Is it the ice maybe in the drink?
Maybe. Is it like a clinky ice sound? Maybe.
Let us know. Is it intermittent? Is it?
Is it gone now?
Possibly
let me know.
Jane's coffee.
Yeah, it might be Jane. Yeah, maybe Jane's.
It's
coffee.
Jane's ice, says Will Sawyer.
Wow! I'm impressed that our audio was
picking
that up.
Ruoni 1029 says if you could get a cybernetic implant, what would you get? Keanu Reeves in my neck.
Yeah. Just a
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
No, I just a thing that tells you the Wi-Fi password for every Wi-Fi network.
Oh wow,
Just
that
like-
would be
Cool.
useful.
It's like a nice low-key superpower.
Although
I
if
would
you just
have
ever
like
get
a-
good signal, I mean, it's basically got that. So
I'd have a hacking subroutine that meant every time I go to an elevator lobby, there was an elevator waiting for me.
That would be
It
great.
would use like my geolocation and hack the kind of programming of any nearby elevator to against the orders and wishes of anyone in the lift or near the lift to make sure there was one waiting for me. And it's like low key, but it would be really useful. Sorry, I think it's because I've been staying in a hotel on quite a high floor. And it's been a real pain point. Is like,
can I just have that one like in the Matrix, how they just download kung fu into their brains and stuff? Can I have that?
oh
please?
yeah. There was a bit in the Bloodlines 2 demo where you're doing a kind of like vampire foo. Like, do you know that one move that was like you flip over someone's head and then
nice.
vampire foo? I'm cool.
But you don't do like a forward flip. You do a kind of sideways one with your legs going.
Yeah, just a cool kind of spinning movement.
It was a bit Blade, wasn't it? But
I guess it was. I guess that's why I loved it so much.
Reckless Rex wants to know when James's birthday is.
James.
Is it October?
It's in the calendar, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll try and find out, Reckless Rex, and we will let you know, so you can send James a card, because that's what you want to do, according to this message. Nato Stellaris says hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for joining.
I'm going to talk about Control.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about Control because
Control was good.
really enjoyed it. It's like a classic spooky Remedy action. Looking really nice. We were playing on some very powerful PCs.
Yes, with RTX,
and the lighting was looking
oh my god, there was
rather
ray tracing
shiny.
out the wazoo.
Frame rate for days. It felt really good, looked really good, and I love that particular Remedy brand of spookiness.
Yeah.
It's, that kind of Alan Wake vibe.
And just the whole feeling like a slightly weird dream thing that they have going on. There was a bit where we had to go and talk to a janitor, and we went to the janitor's office, and there was a big door with a poster of the janitor holding a mop. And we opened the door, and he was stood there in the exact spot.
There's a sort of like winking Twilight Zone-y feel to it, which I think I really appreciate. It's not just trying to be weird or just trying to be scary, but kind of charming at the same time. Yeah.
Also, just Remedy, a great. Sam Lake was in our lift yesterday in our hotel.
Speaking of lifts,
we're Jane and I are in a different hotel to Mike, and all the Remedy guys are staying there, and we were like, "Hey, we're coming to see Control." And he was like, "I've already lost my voice."
Maybe that's why he wasn't there today.
Yeah.
Maybe he fully lost his voice.
He's working too hard.
Well, that was a highlight.
But yeah, what did you think of the combat? Because you were playing.
Combat was really good. Like I say, it felt great. You've got kind of telekinetic powers to pick up and launch items across the level. You played Quantum Break, which I didn't, so I think it's kind of akin to that.
It kind of reminded me of The Force Unleashed a bit, because of the way you can pick things up and throw them at people.
There's a bit of momentum to it, so when you like pick up, it's not like those really clunky telekinesis things where you pick
just
it up
hold
and
it at
it's
like
hovering,
a fixed length,
and it's moving around. It's got a kind of momentum and a sort of sweep to it. So it's
I was thinking about that when you said that, and it's weird because I'm not sure what I'd compare it to, but it's very intuitive. You feel like if telekinetic powers were a thing,
it would be like
and
that.
God willing one day they will be, you kind of pick it up and there'd be a little bit of a delay and a little bit of momentum as you kind of like whip it around. So, pleasing.
Yeah, Volturn says Control seems like something Andy should play during Halo stream. I don't know if it's like full on scary as much as it is just
weird and unsettling.
Yeah,
but I think it would be a decent Halloween.
All those
match.
kind of
the
floating in the.
Yeah, but also it comes out like in July. I want to say July. Is it July? Comes out next month.
Soon, yeah.
So I mean, I don't think I can wait
July,
to Halloween.
August,
yeah, I don't think I can wait that long to play it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one to rattle through. It's not like top of my list this year, but I will definitely play
like
it.
a fun romp, like
exactly.
break-wise.
Yeah, also Bloodlines, when that comes out next year, right?
Yep.
And then when Cyberpunk comes out next year, they're going to be like 100-hour games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Remedy's Control is going to be what? At most 10 hours?
Yeah, probably.
If I had to guess, it's going to be something like that. So it's going to be a delightful, compact experience. Yeah.
Nom Nom Blur says 2 years as a Brit and the first live stream is at 1 a.m. Is this the first one you've caught? Well, if it is,
well done. Thank you for staying up.
Brock System says thanks for the reply on Twitter about Forza Lego, Mike. You're welcome. Hope you get to talk about it more often, even after the video you made. Well, it's coming out very, very soon. So. In fact, it's tomorrow, isn't it? So,
yes, tomorrow.
Forza Lego thing. So you'll be able to play it if you're interested.
How much does it cost?
I don't know, but it's definitely part of the season pass and the kind of deluxe edition.
I see.
I can't imagine it's super pricey.
You don't know. It's only like 3 cars, right? Like,
3 cars and a bit of a kind of Lego Valley.
It does look fun.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. But yeah, it's not like a massive expansion.
I was hoping there'd be a few more cars, but they are fun to play, and it's kind of really fun and silly to be smashing through Lego trees and things.
Yeah, you can see Mike playing it on the channel.
Yeah, it's only
like 4
sort
minutes.
of 4 minute long demo, but
yeah, it's fun. There were pirate ships. There was a haunted forest. It was great.
John Sharpland says not at all any of the great news from today, but there's a new Frozen 2 trailer out and it looks intense. Please discuss briefly. Thank you. I know Luke's seen it and was commenting about it.
Man, I haven't seen it. I'm excited.
He was comparing it to Ursula Le Guin stuff, which sounds
okay.
I've not read Ursula Le Guin.
No, she's brilliant.
I know she's a well-respected fantasy author, and that's all I know about that.
You got something, Andy?
No, just people saying talk more about Control.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I tell you my concern about Control?
All right, fine.
Everything I've seen so far has been. I mean, obviously the building is like a really interesting concept because it's a sort of like a constantly changing kind of unreal space, a bit like the TARDIS, you know.
The oldest house.
Yeah, the oldest house. It's called. Which is a really interesting concept, and I'm like down with the fiction. My only concern is that everything I've seen so far has been quite grey and corridory, and I'm really hoping they use that weirdness to make stuff that looks a bit more varied. I'm hoping it'll be a bit more visually diverse than the stuff we've seen so far. But
it's really tricky to say because the idea that it's set within a single building is like the fictional premise, but the building is a fantasy kind of space,
absolutely.
And so there's no reason that they couldn't have anything you could imagine in that space. In fact, in the demo, in the mission we were playing, we fell through the floor and suddenly we were in an impossible void, doing some platforming, and I can't see how you're not in the fiction of the oldest house, at least you're not limited into the variety, but it would also be like a convenient fictional layer to be like why everything does look a little bit similar, like themed and samey, but it's impossible to say. Like any E3 demo, you can extrapolate only so far, I suppose. Like how much does this bit reflect the entire experience? And like a great movie that has a trailer that only tells you really what happens in the first third or so, could have something wildly different in the later stages. Who
absolutely.
knows?
And there was also a bit at the end of the demo. They showed us a cutscene which was talking about the main character being able to go into slides from. It sounded like there was
like photographic.
Yeah, like photographic slides, being able to like enter them and go to other places.
Like that episode of Red Dwarf.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it was just like a cinematic that they threw in at the end, and they were like, "Well, cliffhanger, bye."
Well, that I find that encouraging because that means those slides could be from different places and interesting
flashbacks. Yeah, exactly.
So that might be the variety I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Annika Brock says, "Hey everyone, no questions. Just want to say thank you so much for all these streams. They've been such fun, and I know you have to be exhausted. Thank you for all your work." I'm not feeling too bad.
I'm not now, but I estimate in 2 hours I will be walking while sleeping, or sleepwalking as it's known.
But thank you, Annika, and thank you for joining us for the live streams. It's been really fun to be able to, with E3 quite often, by the time we've gotten a video out, it's a day or two after what we've seen.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to be able to just come back from the show still enthused about what we've seen. Like Jane was saying, we only just saw Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines just over an hour ago, so we're still like super kind of buzzy from the show.
Yeah, there will be a video about it.
Yes, we will be making a video as well, but this is just a really nice way to kind of relay our sort of gut reaction and our first thoughts about what we've seen.
It's a new thing for us, and I think we're glad we did it, because video is such a time-consuming discipline.
Yeah.
That it's hard to be responsive, but then a live stream is the opposite of that in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite as slick, not quite as polished.
It's in my hotel room.
Entirely unscripted and from Mike's hotel room. But it does mean that we can talk to you about things we've literally just seen.
And also you guys can tell us what you want to hear and ask your questions, and it allows us to kind of immediately refer.
A few people asking where Luke and Ellen are. Luke is working on a video about Animal Crossing right now, and Ellen is working on a video about Minecraft World.
Yes. I'm in that video about Animal Crossing and New Horizons, or Tom Nook's Fire Festival.
I love the Tom Nook's Fire Festival.
Well, you're stranded on a desert island, and Tom Nook's like, you can't even have a tent. Oh, fine, you can have a tent. And then you've got to build everything from scratch.
Classic Tom Nook.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think we were talking about it. I think someone was talking about it on the live stream before, but it might finally be time for me to buy a Switch when they bring out the like limited edition Animal Crossing themed Switch, and it's going to have Joy-Cons made out of coconut shells or something like that.
That'd be amazing, actually.
Something, island themed, and it comes with like a floral crown or something. I'm really here for it.
Wow, there's some real traffic going on outside.
Wow,
LA, everybody. If you see a helicopter flying past the window.
Oh, it's an ambulance, that's why.
There you go.
It's just an ambulance,
live.
FYI.
This is like we do a traffic report as well for downtown LA. Steer clear.
The 5's real backed up.
Figueroa, pretty busy right now. Oh, hello. Yeah, we hear you.
Because of all the skyscrapers, like the sound really carries
and rebounds
and out in LA for sure.
UT Phoenix says, just wanted to say thanks for being great. Your videos always make my day better. #PreciouMams. You are welcome. Thanks for joining us. Garrett Williams says, when me and my girlfriend saw the reveal for Lego cars in Forza, we both got hyped, then thought about just how excited Mike would be. So just how excited is Mike and everyone else for that matter? Yeah, really excited. I mean, it was great to play it, and I really, really liked the Hot Wheels expansion that they did for Forza Horizon 3, and it's very much a similar sort of thing, a really silly world. I love that Haunted Forest is hilarious with all the Lego ghosts floating around.
Glow-in-the-dark ghosts.
Because it's just so nonsensical. And it's always, I think it's always good when Forza lets its hair down a bit. I think it can be, certainly before Horizon came on the scene, it could kind of have been accused of being a bit sterile and a bit like, it was a simulation, and it never really kind of enjoyed itself, but I think they've started to chill out a bit, and
I don't know, but I suspect maybe the fan reaction from certain quarters hasn't been entirely positive for a Lego expansion. Not a Lego expansion, Lego DLC.
Yeah, I think some of the real serious car people are like, why have I got a giant Lego car? But there was a more...
It doesn't delete the other cars.
No, absolutely, yeah. And you can actually drive the regular cars in the Lego world and vice versa, as far as I know, so... It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. And there was a more conventional DLC pack before it. So
yes, I was going to say. It's not like not necessarily just one or the other. I suppose.
We've had a few people in the comments asking who we think won E3. I think Keanu Reeves and Ikumi Nakamura.
Yeah,
I mean, we all won
those
E3.
Two were great.
Ikumi Nakamura was the developer on stage for Ghostwire Tokyo, and she was awesome. Like so charming, so
and
eloquent, such a great performance. Yeah, she's Shinji Nakami's like protege, and it's really kind of cool and heartwarming to see him come up on stage and then introduce her, and then she introduces the game.
She's like a living anime character. She was so animated, and she kind of jumped off the stage. It's brilliant.
Confidence and charisma to be speaking on stage to literally hundreds. I mean, thousands of people, because it's all being live streamed in your second language, and to be that, and for your first time, for your in your first time in that role, she's my new hero.
I loved when she was
awesome.
Like spooky.
Yeah, so charming. I love it.
We haven't had a chance to play that game yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it even here?
It's not, no, but
I think it's
I love Tango
early
Game.
stage.
It was one of those Shinji Mikami stuff.
is
So-
one of those cinematic trailers of which we saw so many. But among those cinematic trailers, it's one of the ones I'm most buzzed for.
Oh wait, Cypress Isles? Is that an I or an L? I can't tell. Says, do we have an update on Oxventure? We do. We have the footage now.
We've secured the footage.
We
I
secured
got
the
an
bag.
email overnight that
Yes.
said the footage is arriving.
It exists.
Yeah.
It still
So
exists.
good news, everyone.
So John will be editing that.
It'll happen.
And you will see it in all its glory.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting things happened in that episode.
There was a teeny tiny clip of it. I don't know if you saw in Show of the Week just before E3. There was a little clip of it because that footage is from the kind of second camera shot. So if you want a teaser of 4 or 5 seconds, there you go.
Gonna check out the
There you
new
go.
Corazon costume.
Oh, here we go.
There you do.
Yeah.
Owen Rice, this is very cool. Hello from Utah. I'm watching while getting my first video game tattoo.
Ooh, okay.
I'm
What is
getting
it?
Whoa.
I'm getting Faith's arm tattoo from
Oh,
Mirror's Edge,
that's a
inspired
good
by
one.
your videos.
Yeah.
That's
that
very
what you said you
good
would have got?
choice. I feel like I said the Mass Effect
Oh, that's
Renegade
right.
Paragon
Yeah.
one, but
I think you mentioned it as like a possible...
I think at one point I
yeah.
have mentioned because it's extremely cool, and I feel like I might have said, and if I didn't say, it's what I'm thinking, that I like the idea of one like really like full commitment, large scale tattoo.
Arm tattoo, yeah.
And like Faith's tattoo is, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's like a kind of circuit, like abstract
Yeah,
circuit style
board type
diagram,
thing,
Yeah.
all down one arm, and I really like the idea of getting like just like one like full commitment tattoo,
Yeah.
like one big sleeve. Although a lot of people get sleeves done in parts, and actually they're made of a lot of different elements, but something big.
And it's
I
very
like the idea
very
of
stark as well. It's like
Yeah.
black and
Yeah, I like those kind of like graphical tattoos, whereas colours are, I love spectacular colour, but I
Yeah.
do like the idea of something just kind of cool and monochrome.
you'd be cyberpunk ready, won't you, as well?
I
with that?
would. For Cyberpunk, you should get one of those UV tattoos though, so like under
that'd be
black
amazing,
light,
yeah.
you kind
You
of
get like
glow in
the
dark,
face wiring that they have in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
face
oh.
tattoo is a new level of commitment. Yeah.
Felix Jane says, from just what you're saying, it sounds amazing. I assume that's either referring to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines or Cyberpunk.
Or Control even.
or even Control. But
It was a good day. Like all three were impressive in their own
strong
way.
games, yeah.
Yeah.
Will Sawyer's asked about 5 times now what the shoulder camera rig we use to film videos when we're outside is, so I feel like we should let him know.
Oh, it's like a really super cheap one. It's like, I think it like costs £30 or something.
The shoulder mount.
Yeah.
It's like it's a sort of, it has a kind of bit that goes over the shoulder there, and then like a kind of, you can separate it out and wedge it against your chest, and then it just comes out with a little screw for putting the camera on. It's super affordable. Like, they're really cheap on Amazon, and I've had one and it broke, but until it broke it was fine, and it was just affordable enough that I was fine with it breaking. So I've got another one.
And we don't always, or even usually, film with the kind of camera we're using at the moment, but it is just like a little camera.
Yeah,
and I feel like
it's the G7X.
the added stability of having a shoulder mount when you've got something so light
Yeah.
is
I
useful.
think the stuff we've shot looked better than it did when we were using a proper DSLR, like in previous years. So I think it looks good. Obviously, we don't have John and James with us; they were unavailable, so they would have probably brought a more impressive camera. But
and it would have looked even better.
Yeah.
But I think we found a good solution.
Yeah,
and on our side is the light in Los Angeles,
which is incredible.
Really,
Makes
really
look
good,
great.
very flattering. They should really start some sort of film industry here. They could shoot some good-looking stuff.
Someone get that.
Kate Lodge says, I love you guys. Who's Atlas 802 says, so what you're saying is Keanu Reeves is basically Al from Quantum Leap. And an eyes emoji.
Yeah, although he was a hologram, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never watched Quantum Leap.
What? Quantum Leap was good. Oh boy, he would say.
Oh boy.
It was good.
Yeah, I've never seen it, unfortunately.
Okay, well, it was good.
Are you trying to say Quantum Break? Because I don't even know what you're describing.
You don't know? You've Quantum Leap.
I'm joking.
That was good.
I'm just trying to pretend that I'm too young to know what a quantum leap is.
I've never heard of a Quantum Leap. No, it's good.
Is it the Scott Bio thing? Is that
It is.
Scott Bakula, not Scott Bio.
Oh, which
Who's
one's
Scott
Scott
Bio?
Bio?
Scott Bio was Chachi from Happy Days.
Oh,
okay.
no, I've replaced him in my mind casting.
Count Bakula. Right.
Isn't it Bakula?
Probably.
Not Bakula.
Anyway.
Anyway.
What's clear is that none of us know anything about Quantum Leap. Declan Stark, hey guys, couldn't really
Hi.
catch the live stream until now. Did cameraman James and producer John enjoy their presence? They did. Thank you so much. Duck and Stark brought us lots of gifts at PAX
Lots
East.
of duck-themed
and
gifts.
we did deliver the duck-themed gifts
Yeah.
to John and James.
With some explanation as to the duck themes.
Yes. Becca C says, excited to finally see the live stream live. You're all great. Love your takes on games and gaming. Very refreshing, down to earth, and hilarious. Thank you, Becca.
Thank you.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
I'm not fully confident that we're not just spouting
Nonsense.
gibberish.
Yeah. No,
Like
it's
we're going to
good.
watch this back and it's just us
Just blah, 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 blah.
saying
Just
nonsense
saying
words.
blue.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a thing.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, and happy to do a live stream at a time that has meant you were able to catch it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're normally on UK time. We're on Pacific now. We're streaming a bit earlier than we did yesterday and the day
Yeah.
before. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
There was one time, and it was the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, and Andy was streaming at midnight in the UK, and we hit a convenient time for a whole new other audience.
Yes.
So that was nice.
Yeah,
It was,
occasionally-
the Australians were awake, and
Yeah.
although sometimes we do get like the hardcore like viewer who is awake at like 4 or 5 a.m. watching a live stream from Australia.
Yeah.
If that's you, thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate.
I've been awake at like 2 or 3 or 4 a.m. quite a lot over here. That the way
Yeah.
my jet lag expresses itself is that
The
I
two-part
sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., stay awake for an hour, and then go back to sleep.
You'd fall
So
asleep
I
quicker
get
if you
2
didn't
sleeps a night.
spend an hour on Instagram between.
Yeah, but that's what I do when I wake up. Is like, well, I guess I'll just go on Instagram.
Instagram forever.
So if you're wondering why there's like Instagram posts to the official Outside Xbox account at weird times,
just that
that's jet
dedication.
lag. That's jet lag expressing itself through me. Yeah.
Zanzibar White says, I missed the first Bloodlines, but it sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yes.
How much of the lore do you think you need in order to enjoy it?
This is
Oh,
a good question
none.
for me because I didn't play
No,
the
no,
first one
because
either.
the character in Bloodlines is sort of a new initiate into the world. So you could go into it like that character, like, what the heck is going on? Why do all these different vampires have different powers? I didn't know there was more than one kind of vampire. And the game is very much centered around introducing you to like different clans. And I think it's a really good introduction to the entire fictional world of Vampire the Masquerade.
It's been 14 years since the first game, so they're going to have to do some onboarding.
I think the trick would be less, will I understand the fiction, and more, can I get along with a game that's that kind of old? And it's a game that I love, but no one would ever say it's without its mechanical, like, kind of
the original
roughness,
some weird,
I
weird
suppose.
stuff. But it's well worth checking out. It's on Steam.
Yeah.
It's
It's on, isn't it on Good Old Games and
I think it's on. Yeah, it's on
GOG.
GOG as well. So.
You can pick it up real cheap, and it's got really great fan support. Like there are updates and like patches
and all sorts. Yeah.
Because it's quite beloved in the right quarters.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
A remaster would be amazing, but we don't need a remaster if there's Bloodlines 2 coming, and there is. So.
I've lost my. Oh no! Here we go. Nikki Knife Stab, our Cockney murderer.
It's like Johnny Silverhand
exactly.
off of Cyberpunk.
So far, the permadeath recruit anyone combo from Watch Dogs Legion is the most exciting concept I've seen this E3.
Oh.
What new gameplay concepts have you guys excited this year? Also, cool shirt, Jane.
Oh, thank you. It's a wait. Hang on.
Look, it goes all the way around.
It goes all the way up and down and around. It's actually a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
God, I love a jumpsuit. Talk to me later about jumpsuits. The finest garment of all.
You need a little badge to talk to me about.
Talk to me about jumpsuits. They are so much fun to wear. But thank you for the compliment. That's nice. That's a really great point.
Yeah.
Like an actual system that is new.
Guigi is the one.
Guigi's not a system.
Yeah, he is. You turn into goo and then you can go around
I
through
guess
bars
so.
and things.
Yeah, okay.
And over
All right,
spikes.
you can have that.
Guigi is the future of gaming.
I think you make a really nice point that Watch Dogs, while being like it's a sequel and it's a franchise that we're familiar with, but to do something that's really quite daring, which is to not have a protagonist, and in place for a protagonist to have an entirely new system and permadeath, and doing something that's so ambitious, which is to write lines and create backstory, like in a sort of procedural way for everyone you see, and I can't wait to see how that actually works.
That's absolutely This E3, that's the thing that's like really kind of blown my mind, and you know when you see something you're like, I have no idea how they're going to make this work, and from what I've played it looks like they're making it work. So
because like every E3 you see a lot of stuff that's like iterative, that's like a really great version of something you've seen, and maybe especially so because we're on the cusp of a new generation.
Yeah,
like is now the time you're going to see all the innovation? Probably not.
I'm just saying that think all games in future will have a Gooigi in them.
Yes.
Not like even the Goo version of the protagonist of that game, but actually Nintendo licensed
Gooigi will come in.
Luigi character. Yeah.
Carissa O'Sullivan says, here's something to support you guys. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carissa.
Stefan Yazvak says, hey all, hope you guys are enjoying America. What was your first home game console? I got a Super Nintendo, but like really late.
Okay.
Like, late in the Super Nintendo life cycle. My friend had one for ages and I loved it to bits.
And you bugged
yeah, basically
your
like nagged for 3
years.
And eventually I got a hold of one.
Are we talking first games machine or specifically like
console?
A console?
Sega Master System I had.
Sega Mega Drive then, yeah.
You Sega people.
But I think I mostly played in the early days on like PCs and...
yeah.
Although, no, wait, not PC, C64.
Yeah.
And then later PC.
And Atari ST.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was into games, and so when the Master System came out in the UK, he bought one for himself.
Nice, and you were allowed to play on it occasionally. When
I
was finished.
Too young, really, but I could hold it and wave the controller around.
I associate my early days of playing games with like cover discs a lot. Because we used to go to like computer fairs. They're sort of like electronics themed jumble sales with my dad.
That's nice.
And they would have like boxes and boxes of like old games magazines, like PC gaming magazines that would come with the cover disc. So for like a few quid you could just buy a load of game demos. Because I was really little, like you only really want to play the first level anyway. Or like
games were only about an hour long back then.
Yeah,
that was the glory days of shareware, where you get like 20 levels of Doom for free.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Seishin Kami donates very generously. Thank you very much for that.
You shouldn't have.
Very
much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely appreciated.
Thank you.
Says, here's some money for all your hard work during E3. It's a shame I didn't see you while I was there. Hoping to find you guys because I had some candies to give you. As an aside for Mike, did you get a chance to check out the next level racing setup that's there? I didn't, but we are at the show again tomorrow, briefly. I'm actually flying out. I've got to get back to the UK tomorrow afternoon, but we will be on the show floor catching Final Fantasy VII Remake and things like that. So
we'll be around.
I'll try and keep an eye out for it if I can. It sounds like some kind of motion simulaty racing.
You love
setup.
that. You love that stuff. You love a fancy, expensive seat to play a racing game in. Is that what it is? Like a physical?
I think it will be. Yeah, if it's this next level racing setup, must be a kind of.
Shake your
is
fillings
it
loose.
called Next Level Racing, or is it just it's Next Level?
It's all capitalised.
Okay,
so
it must be
Next
called.
Level Racing. So
right,
I will definitely try to check that out.
It's going to wrestle you around.
It's going to punch you in the stomach.
Mike's going to be on a plane in like.
almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was nearly time to check. We can check in online on the stream.
No, let's not do that. Cool.
We'll check Mike in.
You can find out which seat he's going to be in.
Yeah, you guys can. We can. Like Twitch plays, we can choose your seat in the.
You can let
passport details. And all that.
You can let the stream audience choose which seat you're going to sit in. You know that when Twitch plays Pokemon, it's like Twitch
such a good idea.
checks in Mike online.
We're not doing
Twitch
this.
selects which movies Mike has to watch.
Which like meal option you're going to have? It's like the low salt vegan meal.
Option. Oh, don't make my life miserable. 25th Hannah Booster says, you guys are making me hyped about games that I didn't have too much interest in. I have to leave since I'm working tonight for some overtime, but thank you for all the work at E3 you're doing. Well, that's cool. Like, I mean, we've really been quite selective this year about what we've gone to see, but if we're getting you excited about games you hadn't thought to play before, that's cool. Like, hopefully
that's E3 doing its job, I suppose. And it's really gratifying because it's a real... I mean, it's hard work, but it's a real treat for us to be here. And I think sometimes our job, especially if there's a game that we're really excited about or that we are really looking forward to, the challenge is to kind of convey that to you as effectively as possible. And if you're excited, then that's great. I'm
and there's
excited
lots to be excited about. I mean, like, you know, if you go back and look at all these streams that we've done, we've had, you know, Xbox with the console announces, we've had Nintendo stuff going on. It's been fun, like, and I really enjoy E3. Is it kind of gets you like re-excited and re-energized for the next year or so. And
I've really appreciated this year how many of the games we've seen, and I guess specifically the games we're excited for, have had release dates.
Yes.
Because I can't.
We know when they're coming.
The number of times I've been to a blimmin' like EA conference and they're like, and there's a new Mass Effect coming, or here's a new Dragon Age, and then there's like a little trailer and they're like, please look forward to this game at some point.
Yeah, when
You're
it's
like,
done.
Tell me when. But Cyberpunk's got a release window. Bloodlines has a release date. Control's coming out the next month, and so there's a lot of stuff that you can literally mark the date in your calendar. Yeah.
Like Lego Speed Champions Pack for Forza's coming out
tomorrow. Yeah.
No, it's great. Lots of stuff early 2020 because, and we think it's sort of because they're kind of clearing the deck for the end of this generation and the beginning of the next, which
got
is
a deadline.
exciting in itself.
In a more abstract way,
A lot of comments for aisle seat, Mike. So
aisle seat.
Aisle
seat is the
you
winning
can get up and
seat.
wander around. Although it's a red-eye flight, you might not want to be disturbed.
Well, this is the thing, because I tend to just sleep a lot on planes, so sometimes I quite like to be sort of stuck in like window or something, and then I never get people.
But this is the kind of desperately polite people pleaser I am. I would rather sit in the aisle so that I could go to the bathroom whenever I want, than be the person in the window and have to ask. If I was in the window and I wanted to go to the bathroom and people were asleep, I would probably just wait until my kidneys exploded.
Have you ever tried the acrobatic climb over the sleeping person?
God!
Oh wow!
That's the worst possible move. They
just wake up,
and you're
you're
like,
straddling them.
You slip and like elbow drop them.
Oh god!
Throat.
There's really no good way of getting out. I used to really love a window seat because you could like romantically look out of the window, and I love like looking at the land passing by below. But now I just love going to the bathroom without having to disturb anyone. Yeah. Also because I drink a lot more water now on a plane, because the key to flying is staying hydrated.
Mike's superpower is the ability to fall asleep anywhere.
That's true. If you're Mike, the window seat is actually a pretty good option.
I've slept through takeoff before numerous times.
That's a superpower.
I think that's a really nice time to fall asleep, because maybe they haven't turned the movies on yet. You're not allowed to be looking at your phone.
But the problem with it is if you fall asleep during takeoff, they normally do like a really noisy announcement once you're in the air. Yeah. And it's just like.
Well, the loudest thing on earth is the announcement through your headphones if you're watching a movie. And it's like 8 times louder than the actual movie.
Yeah. Random username for Chris says, I've noticed you guys never seem to argue, which is refreshing. How hard is it to convey what for most is something they need to experience themselves? Good question. Highlight of the trip, safe return. Highlight of the trip for me was Bloodlines. Because I've been waiting 14 years.
Specifically, the guy dancing in the goth club.
But I loved Keanu Reeves obviously as well.
Keanu Reeves on stage at the Xbox conference.
That was a real highlight for me. Yeah.
That was a real wow moment. Before we really understood what the nature of his role in the game was, it was just something like deliriously like delightful about seeing Keanu Reeves on stage at an Xbox conference.
Yeah, and feeling the love back. I can't remember who was saying, it was someone from Microsoft, but apparently like Phil Spencer said to like Keanu Reeves beforehand,
brace yourself.
This is not going to be like anything you've ever done before.
And he's like, I'm an actor. Well, I don't know what he was like, but I'm imagining that he's like, well, I'm one of the world's most famous actors. I can handle this, but it must be such a weirdly different experience and crowd to
and then I think he was a bit taken aback because he was sort of like, guys, I've got to get through this.
I'm just here to announce a release date for a video game. I thought this would be like a corporate gig or something.
Yeah. You're all breathtaking.
Oh, that was fun.
I'm going to watch that again.
That was fun. I think like you should have a moment, like your best moment of E3 that is specifically about a game and like and the game you're excited for and why it made you want that game. And then the other thing is like what ridiculous nonsense thing happened that
because there is always
made you giggle.
ridiculous nonsense at E3. It's always like
quite often it's on stage at Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's true.
I think the bit in the Cyberpunk demo where he got on a motorbike, put on some like synthwave music, and then just drove through the city in third person.
That was nice.
That was great.
That was nice.
We're getting very close to the end actually. So let's
do some quick fire.
So random username for Chris. Also, it is quite hard to convey stuff that we need to experience yourselves, but we do our best, and hopefully our videos have helped to give that stuff. Sleepy Susie says, "What would you do if you could hang with Keanu Reeves?" I think just hang with him, have a beer,
just a chat, shoot the breeze.
Yeah, I think I think you could sit in silence with Keanu Reeves and not feel.
I bet he's a really good hang out in silence.
I think he probably gives off just a very calming energy.
Yeah, just smell him.
Okay, Jade.
Yeah.
Emmanuel0924 says, love you guys. We love you too.
Thank you.
Warrior Angel Girl donates. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Farlander says, lots of great games at E3, people hyped up. In the shows you saw, any underrated games that should have got more attention? I did want to mention Journey to the Savage Planet.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of
Nice
an
one.
indie game. It's made by a small team, led by one of the guys who did Assassin's Creed 3 and Far Cry 4, both decent games. And it's really nice. It's sort of like No Man's Sky, but more narrative based and with proper objectives and stuff. So it's got that same kind of explorational feel, but it's a kind of curated experience. You're going around cataloguing things and trying to build things, but it's also kind of funny. It's got some kind of comedy stuff in there.
Yeah.
When you go back to your spaceship to do 3D print a grappling hook or whatever, there's a screen playing the sort of corporate TV ads and things like that, and it's pretty great. It's colourful and crucially, sometimes indie first-person games are kind of clunky to play, but this one felt really smooth. It was really nice to just get around the planet and some really cute animals. You can boot things around and there's all sorts of nonsense. So yeah,
When's that out?
it is early 2020 currently scheduled for.
Cool. Good. It's going to be busy, early and spring 2020.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's not
good.
actually a ton coming out at Christmas this year, or at least a ton announced. It's sort of, there's a bit of stuff in summer, and then a load of stuff early 2020.
Don't forget about Modern Warfare, though.
That looks good.
No, I'm not saying it won't be good, but it's that's you can set your watch by it. That is coming out this winter.
Absolutely, and I think people are really ready for another kind of modern combat, modern warfare game after
it's kind of a bit of a
World
reset.
War II and World War One and Future and all that
The
stuff.
trailer looks good, but actually it's not hands-on, as in you can't play it here at E3, not on the show floor anyway. So this has been a rare E3 in that we haven't gotten up at 7 o'clock in the morning and gone to a pre-show hands-on with Call of Duty, which is I don't know. I feel weirdly, strangely bereft about.
Those are some of our most manic videos.
Yeah, that's the manic energy of playing Call of Duty in LA
9
at night. Well, 8 a.m. perhaps.
Do you remember that year that we went to play it before the show opened, and we were so tired, and there was a company selling coffee makers in the lobby, and we signed up to their mailing list just to get a free
I gave them my actual real personal details.
That was foolish.
I got emails about coffee makers for 3 years until they went out.
Captain Price at callofduty.com.
Yes, I know. I know now.
Mark Anderson wants to know if we're going to be able to talk our way out of trouble in Cyberpunk and Vampire Fallout 1 style. Probably not exclusively. There will be combat that you'll have to do in both those games, from what we can tell. But there'll be a lot of situations where you can approach that combat in the way you choose, and there will be situations where you can talk your way out of trouble in certain circumstances.
I love that one of the things the demoist developer was describing in the Bloodlines 2 demo was so it's a little bit more abstract, and there are 5 kinds of resonance, which is like an energy that your victims, that the humans that you feed off of will have, and it's like delirium, desire, something, something. And different humans have different amounts of those resonances. And if you're playing a Toreador and you want to seduce a lot of people, then maybe you'll be more drawn to the kind of person that's got desire resonance, which is going to lead you to hunt in a certain area, I imagine. And it wasn't really the focus of the demo we saw, but it was a new little kind of complicating wrinkle to the system of feeding on humans.
Yeah, so there was a sort of we were in a kind of area with a lot a sort of drugs den and stuff. So there were a lot of people on drugs, and they all had this
delirium,
sort of delirium resonance because they were all kind of out of it.
And then you acquire that resonance. And then you acquire enough of it. It's kind of like a secondary experience point system, and it becomes. This is nice. A clot. Enough resonance is a clot, and then you can use those clots to kind of
buy
invest
new powers and things.
Yeah, that was.
But it does mean that even if you picked a clan that is completely different, so you could be like a Ventru, who's the kind of classy sort of
the aristocratic.
the aristocratic class. But then you could be collecting delirium stuff, and it will change your abilities and the things.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna be a lot of combining abilities and
it's like a hybrid, sort of hybrid class. Also, because clans sort of loosely relate to classes, but they're much more kind of it's a fictional layer as well. So there's the fictional layer of clans and certain things that you associate with them, but then also the mechanical stuff, which is I want to seduce people.
Yeah, that's basically how.
Or drive people mad.
All right, last few questions. Lucio Magalas says, did you meet Miyazaki? We did not meet Miyazaki.
Sorry,
We'd love to hear more about Elden Ring, though.
Yeah.
Victor Mark donates, thank you. Tom Chapman, if you could reboot any dead franchise, what would you pick? Crikey.
Dead franchise.
You're going to have to come back to me on that one.
Yeah, such a big question
Yeah.
for the last couple of minutes of a live stream.
TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, the Star Wars flight games were all really, really cool.
Yeah. I'd have to think about a game you really loved and never had a follow up.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a discussion video.
Franchises you reboot. Yeah.
We'll try and bring that to you.
It's a great idea.
Matt Holland, long-time fan, first live stream. Welcome. Thanks for all the cool videos and hope the jet lag isn't too horrible. We're just about over it and just before
you're about to go and deal with it on the other way around. Yeah.
Rock Sisson says, is this stream taking place early because of how giggly yesterday's got? Yes. No, we've got various bits and bobs going on tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got more to go and do.
Events.
Yeah. Goldenberger says, you guys are awesome. Hope to get to meet you one day. Do you have an indie title you're excited for? Mine's After Party. After Party looked cool.
Oh, yeah.
Supermarket Shriek was fun.
Oh, yeah, keep
12 minutes from
12
the
minutes
Bethesda show. I don't know if it's here itself or if it was just that thing on stage, but I'm interested.
It's by the
in
Edith
that.
Finch people.
So. It's by
Is it?
It's not by Giant Sparrow, which is the Edith Finch people, but it's by Annapurna Interactive, which is kind of like the umbrella sort of label sort of thing. So, but yeah, it comes from the same stable, so I have full faith that it'll be something interesting and in the same way, something striking. Yeah.
Nearly there. Will you ever come to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? I'd love to meet you all. I'd love to get to Pittsburgh.
I would.
Maybe if they do a show there, or you can persuade the show to get them to get us to.
Well, we just need the slightest excuse, and we'll make it happen.
Wolverine Fur donates, thank you very much. Daniel Simmons, Mike, what car do you own? And you should have a brief check of Mighty Car Mods for some great car tie-ins. I will. I have an Alpina D3, which is a type of BMW, and also a Ginetta G40, which is a type of racing car. Tiny 1985's new member, Joan Reelwoman. For the record, Corazon's new costume is stellar.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And then that must be judged from the clip in Show of the Week.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome photos.
Unless Joan was in the audience.
Maybe, actually. Maybe.
All right, we really must go.
Yes,
but thank you so much for joining us. Sorry if we didn't get to your question.
Yes, sorry.
But thank you for all the questions throughout all of our E3 live streams. It's been real fun, answering them all for you and sharing our excitement for the stuff we've seen.
Yeah, we hope it was somewhat coherent.
Yeah, hopefully, not too much.
Let's watch this back tomorrow and
all right.
See if we made any sense.
See if we were just blathering.
Keep an eye out for videos from all the stuff we've seen. We're seeing more stuff tomorrow.
So there will be some stuff sort of in the weeks to come as well from things we've seen at E3. So there's lots more to come. If you haven't subscribed already and if you've accidentally stumbled across this, please do subscribe.
Oh yeah, and also hit the bell, because a lot of people I've noticed on Twitter are like, I didn't get notifications for a number of these videos, but if you press on the bell, you can actually manually tell YouTube, listen up, grab YouTube by the lapels and say, send me notifications.
That would be cool.
Mike's going to play Final Fantasy VII tomorrow, so
I'm so excited about that as well. That's the holy trinity. It's like Cyberpunk, Vampire Bloodlines and Final Fantasy Remake are the RPG holy trinity for me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and in 2020 I'm basically going to shut the door to my bedroom and not come out until I've completed all of those 80-hour games.
Yeah. So if you've got anything to say to Mike, get it in before then.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's been a good E3 for RPGs.
Yes, definitely. So who's ready for an abrupt ending?
Yeah, go on then. I'm going to hit the button.
Okay, all right, I'm going to keep talking. Don't worry about it. We're going to go away, but it will be back.
And I'll tell you for why.
Because
E3 it lives in the heart.